Hey there, friends! Today we're going to read a new story. The story is called Harold and the Purple Crayon. And this book was written by Crockett Johnson. I wonder what this book is going to be about. Let's find out. One evening, after thinking it over for some time, Harold decided to go for a walk in the moonlight. So look, here's Harold, and what is this in his hand? He's holding a crayon. And what color is the crayon? Purple. The crayon is purple. There wasn't any moon, and Harold needed a moon for a walk in the moonlight. So what is Harold doing? He's drawing a moon. And he needed something to walk on. Look at that. He's drawing some lines. What's he drawing? He made a long, straight path so he wouldn't get lost. Look at that. He made a path for him to walk on and a moon to walk under the moonlight. And he set off on his walk, taking his big purple crayon with him. But he didn't seem to be getting anywhere on the long, straight path. So he left the path for a shortcut across a field, and the moon went with him. The shortcut led right to where Harold thought a forest ought to be. He didn't want to get lost in the woods, so he made a very small forest with just one tree in it. Look at that. He's using his crayon to make all the things he's thinking about. It turned out to be an apple tree. Look at that. He drew an apple tree. The apples would be very tasty, Harold thought, when they got red. So he put a frightening dragon under the tree to guard the apples. It was a terribly frightening dragon. Oh, look at the dragon. Does the dragon look scary? Looks a little scary to me. It even frightened Harold. He backed away. His hand holding the purple crayon shook. Suddenly, he realized what was happening. Oh no, what's happening? What does that look like? But by then, Harold was over his head in an ocean. Look at that, he drew the ocean. He came up thinking fast. And in no time, he was climbing aboard a trim little boat. Look at that, he drew a nice little boat to save him. He quickly set sail. He turned it into a sailboat. And the moon sailed along with him. After he had sailed long enough, Harold made a land without much trouble. He stepped ashore on the beach, wondering where he was. The sandy beach reminded Harold of picnics, and the thought of picnics made him hungry. So he laid out a nice, simple picnic lunch. There was nothing but pie. Yummy pie. But there were all 9 kinds of pie that Harold liked best. Let's count the pies. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He has 9 pies that he likes. When Harold finished his picnic, there was quite a lot left. He hated to see so much delicious pie go to waste. What do you think he's going to do so he doesn't waste the pie? So Harold left a very hungry moose and a deserving porcupine to finish it up. Look at that. He made some friends who can eat the pie for him. And off he went, looking for a hill to climb to see where he was. Harold knew that the higher up he went, the farther he could see. So he decided to make the hill into a mountain. If he went high enough, he thought, he could see the window of his bedroom. He was tired, and he felt he ought to be getting to bed. Wow, look at that, the mountain's going all the way up to the moon. He hoped he could see his bedroom window from the top of the mountain. But as he looked down over the other side, he slipped. Oh no! And there wasn't any other side of the mountain. He was falling in thin air. But luckily, he kept his wits and his purple crayon. What is he drawing to save him? He made a balloon and he grabbed onto it. What good thinking! He made a balloon to help him float down. And he made a basket under the balloon big enough to stand in. He had a fine view from the balloon, but he couldn't see his window. He couldn't even see a house. So he made a house with windows. Look at that, he drew a house. And he landed the balloon on the grass in the front yard. None of the windows was his window. He tried to think where his window ought to be. He made some more windows. He made a big building full of windows. Look at that, all of these are windows. He made lots of buildings full of windows. Look at this, he made a whole city. He made a whole city full of windows. Wow, look at all of those windows. Are any of those his? But none of the windows was his window. Oh no, is he lost? He couldn't think where it might be. He decided to ask a policeman. Good choice, he could help. The policeman pointed the way Harold was going anyway, but Harold thanked him. That's very polite. We always say thank you. And he walked along with the moon, wishing he was in his room and in bed. Then suddenly Harold remembered. What did he remember? He remembered where his bedroom window was, and when there was a moon, it was always right around the moon. Look at that, he's drawing his window around the moon. And then Harold made his bed. He got in it and he drew up the covers. The purple crayon dropped on the floor, and Harold dropped off to sleep. The end. Thank you so much for joining me with this story. I love this story. It's so fun to see all the different things we can make when we use our imagination and a little creativity. All right, friends, thank you for joining me. I will see you next time. Bye.